Hi, welcome back to another episode of Out There Living. On this episode of Out There Living, we take a bit of a holiday from Omeo across to Mitta and then into Yakandanda. So we're set up here at the Omeo caravan park. Kids are just settled in, having some dinner. We got here late. There's Joe and the kids. We're just road testing the new pantry in the caravan. We'll come have a look at that later. Over there, we've just struck out. There's some horses. There's a guy doing a bit of a trip in his horses. His name's Billy. We'll talk a bit more about him later. But we'll go for a bit of a walk around the park. Now, the reason we chose to come to this park is because it's pet friendly. And when I say pets, there's dogs, horses, you name it. Heaps of stuff here. There's Billy over there. If you have a look around, it's anything from powered sites, tents, vans, cabins. There's a big glamping tent there. There's people in swags. There's amenities blocks, toilets and showers. There's on-site vans, so permanent caravans here that you can hire out, and they'll sleep, like accommodation here will sleep anything from like 2 to 8 people. I think 8's the max, but it's really good. Right, 40 k's sort of east of Hotham, I guess you'd say, without looking at a map. 40 k's east of Hotham, I reckon. It's about couple hours drive from Bensdale, so we'll spin you around and have a look. Cabins here. We're only staying here for the one night, then we're off to Mitta. We started our trip late, so you see there's caravans, camping, tents over there. Pink one there, Rosie, she's painted them all. Sandy, one of the owners, she's painted them all blue and pink and that, just to give them a bit of character. As you can see, it's pretty cool. And this place, it's so tidy. It's there's not even a skerrick of rubbish around, or it's just really well kept. There's no dust. Everything's green. There's grass everywhere. So when you get to the office and check in, they greet you and then they show you how to get to your campsite on a bike. It's pretty cool. So. Really hospitable, and you see around here, over here, there's like a restaurant, food truck sort of setup thing. Lou's the chef in there, gets a bit of help, he was telling me, from his daughters and stuff like that. A lot of garden art, you know, old trucks and stuff. There we go. And we've just bailed Sandy up. We're going to have a bit of a chat to her about what's on offer here down at the caravan park, if it's somewhere you might want to come and explore. So, how you doing, Sandy?
Really good, thank you, Stu. Yeah, no, really good, and busy as. Yeah.
So you're not first timer to YouTube?
Oh no. Yeah, no, that's a bit of a laugh, that one. You look at it and think, my God.
We'll just grease the wheels today. We won't hit you with too many hard questions. So tell us about where you're located here.
Okay, we're in Omeo. We're about, 2 k's out of town.
Yeah.
It's walking distance. It's not that far. You follow the creek into town.
So just up past the hotel and the footy oval?
That's right. Just
up the hill.
in between the two pubs and down in the valley. So when it gets wet and rainy and windy, we don't get the wind.
And
we get the rain, but you know.
What's this little river you're on here?
This is the Livingston.
The
Livingston Creek. Yeah.
And there's fish in there?
There are fish in there. There's blackfish and trout, and there's some golden trout in there, and if you go a little bit further up you get those carpy things.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're starting to work their way down out of the dart. So,
And how big's your caravan park here?
they tell me it's about 7 acres.
About 7 acres, so plenty of room.
Yeah,
And this is
something like
Easter long weekend.
This is Easter long weekend.
Every inch of grass here will be full this weekend.
I reckon we'll be struggling to find a piece of grass on Saturday night. Yes.
So there you go. Don't turn up on a long weekend without booking.
No,
Plan ahead.
Especially not this one anyway.
And off peak, it's
any other time of the year, it's rock in and take yourself a piece of grass as big as you like.
and you're usually here for drift-ins.
Yep, always got drift-ins.
For people that, you know, they might live in the city, they don't have a caravan or even a tent or anything like that, what can they do to come here to stay?
Well, we've got on-site cabins. We've got cabins with fully en-suited and just a home away from home.
And how many will they sleep?
We've got, 2, 4 and 5.
Yep.
We've got a family cabin that'll sleep up to 8. We've got a couple of park cabins that sleep 5 in each. They don't have bathrooms, but that's okay. We've got an amenities block that you share. We've got on-site caravans that'll take families, you know, double bed and set of bunks or 3 kids, whatever.
That's the colourful ones we've seen
nice
earlier.
Colourful ones down there. We've got a glamping tent that's got a double bed and a set of bunks in it at the moment, but that configuration can change. So that's got heating and carpet and all that sort of stuff. And then, bring your own tent, bring your own swag, and I'll give you a piece of grass, or your own caravan and have a powered site. That's your choice.
So powered and non-powered sites. Beautiful.
Powered, non-powered, cabins, tents, all sorts of stuff.
And one of the reasons that attracted us here, probably the main reason, it's pet friendly and you can have fires.
That's right.
So
you can't go camping without a bushfire.
No, that's right.
Well, a campfire, not a bushfire, a campfire.
We've been to a couple other caravan parks, and I'll tell you what, this is one of the best, most tidiest looking parks we've been in. There's not a skerrick of rubbish or dust or anything around, and it's a credit to you.
No, thank you. No.
So the food truck, we noticed there's a big red food truck there.
There is a big red food truck there, and that's my husband. He's always wanted a food van. So that's what he does each night at 6 o'clock. He goes over and he cooks people. What's he got on the menu? He's got pizzas, steak.
Bit of squid.
Squid, crumb cutlets, southern fried chicken, hot potatoes.
Is this all the stuff that Lou likes?
Yeah, well, he eats anything, but yes, it seems to be the stuff that everybody seems to like.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
and how often is the food truck open?
It's open every night when we're busy.
Yeah,
during the middle of winter and stuff like that, he might open 2 or 3 nights a week.
Do you sell firewood?
Yes, we do.
You do sell firewood, so if you don't have a chainsaw, don't worry, you can come and get some firewood.
That's right, or you can go out in the bush and catch your own. Yeah. It's good fun catching wild firewood.
Good exercise if you don't have a chainsaw.
It is
Hand
good
saws
exercise. Yes.
$9 from Bunnings. And so we were talking earlier about the is it the Centenary Trail, the horse riding?
Bicentennial Trail,
yeah.
The Bicentennial National Trail, which goes, I don't know where it starts. It starts either down south in Healesville, but that's where they start, and then it goes up to north central Queensland, and I've forgotten what the name of the place is where it finishes. Now, we've got a young guy here staying here at the moment who's doing it with 2 horses. And we've also got a return visitor. He came through in 2012 and left me one of his runners because he was sponsored, and so he left one of the runners, and it's still sitting in the office, and he's just come back and gone, oh my God, you've still got my shoe.
We'll have a look at that. We'll get some footage for you later.
Yeah, so that's sitting up in the office, so yes.
So let's touch on some of the activities people can do while they're here. You've got your winter activities is pretty obvious.
Yeah, obvious, isn't it? The snow, skiing, snowboarding. We're only, half an hour from Dinner Plain, 45 minutes from Mount Hotham.
Good snow play for the kids.
Yeah, good snow play for the kids. We've got huskies that are in the snow, doing sled dog runs in the snow. We've also, this weekend, we've got one of the guys that does that is doing sled dog runs on his farm. So you can go up and play with the huskies and go for a run on a trolley.
They just put wheels on them.
On a cart, on a wheeled cart. 4-wheel driving, fishing, bushwalking, bird watching,
And tell us about the big one that's the hype of the town at the moment.
The hype of the town is the mountain bike complex. So that's going off its nut at the moment. They've started, we've got a pump and skills track, and then they're building the mountain bike complex, which is apparently starting after Easter.
And
so the building of that, and that's up Mount Mesley, which has got, you know, a 1,300-foot drop or something like that.
And the for people that may get here in the peak times, before their check-in, there's a rest stop down at the pump track they can wait at?
Absolutely, they can go down there and have a little play and sit by the creek and, yeah.
Go to a cafe and have a coffee?
Yeah, cafes and things in town. There's 3 or 4 of them now, which is really good. They've sort of picking up their game and away they go.
So yeah. Omeo's always been a bit of a sleepy town, but it's not so sleepy anymore.
At the moment.
It's waking up.
Not so sleepy. It is waking up.
Well, thanks for your time.
That's all right. Thank you,
We're going to just have a poke around the park. And yeah, once again, come and see Sandy and Lou down at the Omeo Caravan Park. And you've got a website?
We do.
And Facebook. So
yes, and a Facebook site. Yes,
get a hold of them there and mind out for these chooks. Just the trees here are just sensational. That sun going down over the hills. Little caravans. And how's this? This is the stuff you can get here. Beer, wine, bait, lollies, soft drink. Once again, food. Swap and go. Gas bottles. Plenty of information here. And look at this. What a sensational office. There's the shoe. What time's the coffee machine go on?
It's on now.
All day?
Yep.
From when the office opens? There you go. Don't worry if you don't have a coffee machine. Don't need any wood whatsoever. Just rock up and buy some. That easy. So earlier in the video we were talking about this shoe. We've actually found the owner of the shoe.
The guy of the shoe.
This is Rich.
Yeah, that's right, mate, yeah.
We've just bumped into him and the kids come over to say hello to their kids. So we're going to talk to him about the Bicentennial Trail. So Rich, tell us about your connection to the Bicentennial Trail.
So back in 2012 I ran the Bicentennial National Trail of Australia. So it's a 5,330 kilometre trail. And it starts down here in Victoria, in Hillsville, and it extends the length of the Great Dividing Range all up to Cooktown in far north Queensland.
Wowzers. And how long did that take you?
I think I did it just under 5 months or something.
5
So
months.
basically around about 45k a day on average.
Yep. And how's the body after that?
Good.
Yeah.
I was ready for a few of these.
And a bit younger. Tell us, like, what support did you have along the way?
So I had my partner at the time. So it just this splits people up, mate. This is
It's a deal breaker.
It's pretty full on, yeah. Well, it's full on because you can only as someone who supports you can only access you like where the road intercepts the trail, which can be every day, every week, every 3 weeks. So I spend a lot of time on my own, carrying all my own equipment on my back. So I was like, I was carrying a backpack that was basically the same size and weight as a microwave. So imagine putting a microwave on your back and carrying that out every single day. And then finding water and things like that was a real challenge.
So it hasn't scared you off from running, hiking and camping at all?
No way. I went from there, so 2 weeks after I finished that trip, I went over to New Zealand and ran 3,054 kilometres on their equivalent.
Just wet the whistle before you leave.
This 5,500 was the warm-up. That wasn't, but it's mate, it's funny, I'm driving up here today, so I was in this campsite back in 2012 where I left the shoe. Right,
the old famous shoe.
It was the start of that journey, and driving up today, I was think to myself, how do I convince my new partner to maybe do the trip again, just in reverse and quicker?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So maybe, mate.
So, and you
heard it here first.
You'd definitely recommend it to your Australian adventure runners to
anybody.
Give it a go. Yeah.
I mean, even if you hiked it, or the horseback is the traditional way to do it, with pack horses. I know of someone who cycled it, but you don't follow the same route. Hey, trouble.
And what was your favourite length of the journey?
Do you know what, that's a really interesting question, and I think because the terrain's so different, and you got to appreciate when you do 45 k's in a day, you see so much. Like there's so many different sort of aspects to it. And I don't think I have a favourite because Victoria's very different to Queensland when you're going through the rainforest. But I think my favourite part was probably the most scariest part when I met a farmer in far north Queensland who decided to put a shotgun in my face and told me he was going to blow my effing brains out.
Oh wow!
Pretty full on.
They must have stumbled across something that you
yeah,
might
exactly.
Well,
when you see like wires going into a shipping container that's built into the side of the cliff, you kind of think, yeah, I'm not looking. It's all good.
I'll probably edit this bit out. And so I was going to say, what's your best memory? That's probably not your best memory, but it definitely sticks in your mind.
Well, yeah, but it is a good memory. Like it's it's like wow. It's so you think to yourself you would be. No, you think if you're in a war zone, that makes sense. You don't think it's going to happen on
on a run.
Yeah, on a property in far north Queensland. But that's what I remember. It sticks out in my mind.
Oh, good on you. And did you do it for a cause or just done it for
I did at the
personal
time.
interest?
I did it for mental health, which is quite fitting, I guess, isn't it? Like,
and
a guy that goes and runs 5,500 k's. I guess I was investing in my future.
Yeah, right.
To some degree, you know.
Oh, good on you. Yeah. So Billy up the end with the horses, he's doing it for mental health as well.
Oh, is it really?
We're going to talk to him about his story.
So down there shortly too.
Have a chat to him. He's an interesting character. He's only a month in, so.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll share some tips.
He plans to be up there before the monsoon season starts.
Awesome.
So. And to finish off, you got any socials that you run by for your adventure running, or you want to?
Yeah, not much adventure running. So these days I do different kind of projects, not so much the running stuff. But if you want to find me, it's just adventurealchemy.com.
There you go. Get on, follow him, and thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, mate.
So we've woken up in the morning here at the Omeo Caravan Park, and we've tracked down Billy Crouch,
Yep.
Billy Crouch, and he's got a very interesting story. So we're going to introduce him. This is Billy.
G'day everyone.
That's Billy. He's going to tell us a bit about himself and his story. So what's your background, Billy?
I spent a lot of time in the Northern Territory growing up, working on cattle stations up there. Spent a lot of time with my horses. September last year my dog passed away, and I thought I've got to do something cool to remember my dog by, and I started researching the National Trail, and this is where we've ended up 4 months later. I've got 3 horses here with me now. This is my main horse Johnny, this is my pack horse Costa, and this is a little tag along. His name's Loki. He's a young horse and we're putting a few miles on his back.
There you go. So we've got Billy Crouch, and he's doing the national trail with 2 horses full time and 1 ring-in, and memory of his dog, and that's to raise a little bit of awareness for mental health, isn't it?
Yeah, men's mental health. Yeah, correct.
So let's talk about what you do with for your day to day. So you got the horses here. How do you feed them, water them, stuff like that?
The way the trail's marked out, we hit a lot of rivers and a lot of good water points along the way. So no matter where we go every day, I've got to hit water at a night time. One horse in full work, he'll drink 110 litres of water a day. So we do have to find good water every day, which also means I come across awesome camp spots too.
So he probably comes across some of the best campsites in Australia, I'd reckon.
I reckon
just
so.
Him and the horses, and no one to annoy him. And so your journey that you're taking starts in Hillsville?
Yeah, well, it's recommended that you start in Cooktown and ride to Hillsville. I've done it backwards, so south to north. I started in Hillsville and I'm riding to Cooktown.
And you're trying to leave Victoria before the winter?
Yeah, trying to get well away from Victoria and the Kosciuszko High Plains before any sort of weather.
And then aim to be in Cooktown in...
Well, I haven't really put a time on it, but maybe 9 months, 8 to 9 months, that's the plan.
There you go. So, what about support people along the way? Have you got anyone lined up to help you out in certain spots, or is it solely just you and the horses?
No, it's just me and the horses, yeah. I know a lot of people through Victoria, so I've had a lot of friends and stuff come and meet me along the way and see how I'm travelling, but not really support crews. Like, I kind of planned it to do it alone and to do it with my horses, and we're doing pretty well.
There you go. Very interesting story. And what about you yourself? Tell us about the gear and equipment and your day-to-day living, like your routine.
Living in the bush with 3 horses is different to anything else you could do. My horses are my #1 priority, and without them there's no ride. There's not even a thought to be a ride. So a lot of my day-to-day routine is looking after horses and caring for them and making sure they're in the right state of mind so we can keep travelling again the next day.
And we were talking last night, you were saying you carry penicillin for the horses?
Yeah, I carry medications, all sorts of different medications, penicillins and different powders and different supplements to keep them moving each day, moving to how I think they should move.
So what do you eat from day to day? Like what would you typically get up in the morning? Would you have a coffee or a Milo? Or...
Yeah, so normally I get up and I have a hot chocolate, and that's just a mixture of water, a spoonful of Milo and some powdered milk. Through the daytime I don't really eat too much, and then at night it's a mixture of maybe like packet rices or mashed potatoes, or I dehydrated a lot of meals before I left, and I carry a lot of them with me. A lot of the streams through the high country are full of trout, so I do a lot of fishing.
Got a little rod?
Yeah, eat a lot of fish along the way. Everything has fish in it.
Had a few good catches?
Yeah, heaps. I've caught 30 something fish through the high country already. So
then how have you got a little pan, or how do you cook it up?
I've got a little pan with me, but it depends how tired I get. Sometimes I just throw them on the coals and cook them on the coals and then just pull them off like that.
Really is doing it minimalistic. So.
We're travelling pretty light. We're travelling pretty well. My pack horse, he only carries 55 kilos. My riding horse carries me, so we don't have too much weight with us.
This is all he carries. So yeah, if you see Billy and the horses around, give him a hi. He might not stop because he's trying to beat the cold weather, but he's got these cards he'll hand out and he'll give you a wave. But you've just stopped for the long weekend here, haven't you?
Yeah, we've camped up for the long weekend. There's too many people in the bush, and it's a nice spot here, and I thought I'll make the most of it and spend the weekend in Omeo.
Beautiful sunny Omeo, and a good weekend for it. It's just a pity you're missing that trail days.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get back out there.
So, yeah, it's a very interesting story for those people that want to follow Billy and see some pictures that he does Instagram. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got an Instagram page. Yeah.
So we'll put an Instagram page address up at the end of the video, so you can follow him. And that's about it, mate.